Now watch this.
Who's he?
Nobody. He doesn't really exist, Spike. It's a hologram.
What other tricks can you do?
Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with the Magic Square MS-B31 Detective. This is their take on a very G1 Legend scale Hound. It does look very good. There's a lot of good things about this. We can talk about the pluses, the minuses. Now, I did get this from shows. You have a link down below where you can get yours. So let's get into taking a look at this detective. Starting out the box, it is great artwork, looks excellent. On the side, you can see some stuff, that Magic Square symbol, and kind of cool. This little symbol you see on the Jeep there, and some extra great artwork in the alt mode. So here we go with Hound in his bot mode, and the thing about this is quintessentially what you expect from Magic Square. He's a beefy bot with heroic proportions, looks very much like the cartoon, very accurate, but very minimal on the paint, and that's pretty much the way Magic Square goes. But overall, I think he does look excellent. Let's take a quick look at his head, if we can get that to focus in there. And the head does look a lot like Hound. Nice face sculpt overall. It's so small and hard to get in there. And then moving, he's got this missile launcher cannon, which can be placed on either side and tabbed in there. And then he's got some paint on the front here, the little star, and then we've got his winch, tow hook, and all that kind of stuff. The lights are painted. He's got some yellow accents all through here painted on him, and that does look great overall. On the back, he does clean up very well. Really, the only thing that's exposed are the tires, which this tire here is something that can be used, left on there for transformation, all that kind of stuff, so that's pretty cool too. And yeah, overall, just very clean and nice looking figure. Let's go ahead and get into some articulation with his head. He can go up, down, kind of on a ball joint, so all that good kind of stuff. The shoulders are fun because, well, if you want, you can have those huffer arms. Do you want huffer arms? You can do huffer arms with it. But I do think his arms overall are just a little bit short. But looking at this, he has the bicep swivel, and he's got his 90-degree, a little past 90 actually, right here. And then the typical nothing really with the hands, just really small. They move one piece. Now the waist, you have the classic Magic Square ab crunch, and then you got the side-to-side swivel there. And then, so going forward, this moves with it, which is awesome. Just kind of like an MP44 kind of thing. And then you got to open the flap here to get the side. And that's about as far you go to the side. But you really can't go back. Because of the construction, the way they made it, you can't go to the back. And then you do have some thigh swivel. And you've got a double jointed knee. And then a whole bunch of stuff that you can do with the foot. So, because this foot is on a double hinge right here. So you can do so much with it. If you really wanted to, you can get a really wide stance out of that guy. For accessories, he has a second face, and for the life of me, I can't really see what the difference is. I mean, it's just so small. I'm scared to death of losing this thing. It's just so small. So I'm leaving that in the bag. Also, looking at, he does still have a little paint on his missile launcher that goes on his shoulder cannon kind of thing there. And that looks pretty good. Pretty much what you'd expect. Now, his little gun here, well, this is more of the hologram gun, and it doesn't have any paint on it at all. But I guess we don't really need it. And then you can put this in and you can create a hologram, which is great. That's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool little function there. And then he also has a couple of other really cool accessories, like this cage. And the thing about this cage is you have to assemble it, and it's like these two pieces are exactly the same. And then basically the back and the front, the door, are the same, except the door has less points to plug in so it can open and close and all that kind of stuff. So really kind of cool inclusion that I really wasn't expecting. I saw the cage. I thought that was just like a background thing that they put in there. Also, you get a super tiny key that can plug into the cage right here. And then he can also plug into parts on his side. Yeah, there it goes. It can plug in on the side, but it's really scary too that you're going to lose this super duper tiny key. And it just keeps popping off for me. Trying to make it in a down. There we go. Yeah, it works. So tiny, so scary. We'll take a closer look at this in the alt mode. So as for the cage, it does fit the Magic Square Ravage in it very well. It seems huge for that Ravage. So I had the idea, which is probably a bad idea, but I had an idea. I thought it could possibly fit the Takara, or maybe even the Fans Toys, probably not the Fans Toys, but it is as big as it looks compared to the Magic Square one, will not fit these guys. So the first comparison I want to make is to the McFans Toys version of Hound, and when this came out, I was happy to just have a Hound, but I knew it wasn't great. I knew there'd be a better one come along with Magic Square, and then effectively we're going to see one from New Age pretty soon. But between the two of them, I kind of like the color on this a little bit better, but I think this is probably more accurate. So, I mean, I'm going to stick with the accuracy, which is really what Magic Square lands. But it would have been nice to have a better sheen or something on it comparing. So this one has some good points to it, but design-wise, this one blows it out of the water. Comparing to the Masterpiece, and trying to get them to, use the magic tricks here. Looking at this, now I will point out there's a couple of differences, but they have a lot of similarities. Like the lower legs look very, very similar, but he's kind of thicker in the torso area, and this part comes down lower, so you have more heroic kind of, I guess you could say, more heroic look to this guy, or more slender, more sleek, and all that kind of stuff going on right there. So with that, I mean, this is still an excellent looking design, and both of them look pretty good. But Masterpiece, in my opinion, still kind of wins the design category here, even though this looks so good. All right, so here he is mixing with some other Legends options. Obviously, Magic Square Prime, Magic Square right here. Actually, that's the McFans Toys version of Magic Square, I believe. And then Iron Factory, Toy World, New Age. I believe that's New Age, and that one there is Magic Square. Also, you kind of see how they look together, and I think it fits in. I think it fits in scale-wise very well. And I think it actually fits in scale-wise better than what the McFans Toys one did. So you can kind of see that there. It does scale better. So getting into the transformation of this guy, I'm going to pull all of this fun stuff off here. Let's go ahead and start by what you can always start with the hand here. Open that up, close that in. Same thing over here. Just open this up, close it in. Works great. Okay, so we can lift his head up and all this stuff here up. Start working on the upper body part here. Okay, so we're going to need to pull these wheels out. Now let's just do one at a time. Bring it around. And just like that. Lift that up to start forming the hood there. So kind of pull this one up and get that one out of the way. So simultaneously get these pieces pulled out of here. Unfold this. This is going to clip in to the other side. So this does feel a little bit tight right here. Just a little bit. Like, there we go. And then the same thing on this side. And tight on that pin. Okay. So we've got this pretty much in a good spot. So then we're going to bring this over here. So I guess fold this all the way around like so to get it to fit in there. Fold it down into place. Same thing on the other side. And get that into place there too. Good. Hope that's just right. All right. Next, we're going to work on getting those wheels into place. And then with the head here, we can fold it in there. Like so. And I form the hood. Clean that up. All right, now there should be some room for this to come through here. Got to make sure we got room for that. Okay, now we need to get into the rotation of the hips. You always have to rotate hips in a transformation these days. It seems like every one of them, but okay, now getting into the lower legs and the feet and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to disconnect it. Right here and all the way right there. Fold this up, and then we're on a slider right here. It's got a nice little slider. That's kind of cool too. And then this is going to fold out this direction, and we need to work on these feet. So this is going to come up, go around, and we're going to form the back part of the Jeep and have a seat at the same time. So that kind of works. Same thing over here. Disconnect all of this fun stuff. Pull this out and around. And then it's on the slider. And then we can tab all this in to here. And then we're going to do the feet. Slide all that around. Now, let's fold it up first, I guess. Then we can try to tab it together. This is where it kind of gets a little fiddly, trying to just make sure everything lines up just right as you're doing it. And yeah, we're going to have to have all these arms aligned just right and everything, and then we're going to plug those tabs into those slots. And I don't think I've got my arms exactly right, so let me align those a little bit better so that we can fit those tabs, open that up into these tabs into those slots. But I don't know, mine's not aligning just right. I might have done something wrong there, but anyway, that's going to come into here. And then we're going to tab this into there. So let's just go ahead and make that happen. And I probably didn't show it, but this piece here, the steering wheel has to come up too. Tab that in, tab this in, and then these should tab in right here. And then those close on either side. Put that up, and a little bit of cleanup work on it, but pretty good looking Jeep mode. Here he is in his alt mode, and not a bad looking vehicle mode in my opinion. I think it does look pretty good for a Jeep. It's a little longer than I would expect for a standard Jeep, but maybe I'm just remembering Jeeps a little bit wrong. So there's some good stuff here. First off, we've got some paint on the side here, and somehow I can't quite get that gap to go away on that side or this side. Maybe there was something like it just didn't turn it just right, I think, with the arms and the shoulders. But anyway, still with all that, it still looks pretty cool. It still looks pretty good. We have some paint up here, kind of carried through from the bot mode to the alt mode, or the alt mode to the bot mode, and kind of the tan rims with the tan pieces that go through here. I did say we'll talk about this a little bit, and it is adjustable, and you can aim it up, all that kind of good stuff. And you can put this wheel whichever direction you feel like it should be to feel right for a Jeep. And of course he has his little steering wheel, and the seats are adjustable, so all that kind of stuff. The windshield is adjustable and all that great stuff there. Now I don't see weapon storage for these, so I mean, maybe that's something that's just not so much of a concern anymore these days. And this thing does roll, so overall, a pretty good Jeep mode. It works. First off, I want to compare it with the Mech Fans Toys version. The thing is that the Mech Fans Toys was too big, but as you can see, this is smaller. It's still too big for a Jeep, but they scale it based on the bot, not based on the alt mode, so that's just the way that goes. So looking at this side by side, I still think this is an okay Jeep mode, but I do think Magic Square's Jeep mode is better. Well, it looks a little bit better. I like the bright colors though. Here he is next to an Iron Factory Racing Bro, and as you can see, he's too big for, well, for scale. We're gonna say it for all of them, but That's how it looks. Iron Trans. Now, Iron Trans figures are actually quite big themselves, so they're like Legends plus, but there it goes. Magic Square's Cosmos. Let's dust this guy off and have a look at him in comparison. So, kind of cool, kind of fun. We got New Age Flipper, New Age, what are they calling their brawn there? And then this is a Magic Square. You can kind of see how that works, how that scales, and how that looks. So this has been my look at the Magic Square MS-B31 Detective. Now, this is a pretty good figure. Pretty solid figure overall. Looks good in both modes. Transformation's a little bit involved for a Legends figure. But that's what it takes to make it look so good. Now, he has a little bit beefier design than maybe the New Age one is going to be, but it's still very close to Toon accurate, in my opinion. It's the best Hound we've gotten so far for the Legends scale. Now, I wish they would have had a little more paint, and I wonder if down the road we're going to get a painted one. This is kind of how Magic Square sometimes operates, but we still haven't got the Shockwave with the paint. So, with all that, it's a great figure. I'm glad I picked it up. You can get yours at Shozy. I'll have a link down below while they still have them. Like and subscribe. Have you ever hang around?
Spike here wants to know how we transform, Hound.
Easy, like this.
Incredible.
Oh, hop in, Spike. I'm gonna take you for the ride of your life. Easy, Spike. You almost flooded your engine. Sure is pretty out here, Spike. Earth must be a nice place to live.
It's okay, but tell me about Cybertron.
Hold tight.